Hi and welcome back. Once you've opened up PyCharm for the first time, you'll get something that looks more or less like this. If you get asked to import any settings from a previous PyCharm version, just say no, because you don't have any previous PyCharm versions. Unless, of course, you do have a previous PyCharm version that you want to import settings from. But if you don't know what it means, just say no or cancel or exit. Then make sure you open up PyCharm and you'll have a window that looks more or less like this, or possibly like one we'll see in just a moment. Nonetheless, what we want to do is go into Create New Project. So let's create a new project, and then you've got two things that you have to pick. The location of your project, where in your computer this project is going to live, and also the interpreter. This is the Python version that you want to use for this project. Notice that, for example, Mac OS comes with Python 2.7 already installed. However, when you create a new Python project, you can choose whether you want to use Python 2.7 or Python 3.6 that we've just installed. Python works fine if you have multiple versions all installed at the same time in your computer, and it is on a per project basis that you'll choose which Python version to use. So you can install Python 3.7 when it comes out, alongside 3.6. And that's totally fine. Let's pick out a location for our project. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to go over to my desktop. Okay, so I'll open up the desktop here and I'm going to create a new folder which is going to be called Milestone 1. Now my project is going to be in this folder here. So any new files I create are going to appear inside that folder, and basically all the contents of the core of this project are going to be inside that folder. Make sure to pick out a folder that you like. For the interpreter, I have a lot of options here, and you won't have so many options, but what you want to go and find is 3.6, presumably 0.4, which is the one we've just downloaded, or 3.7, or 3.5, or whatever version you've got installed at the time of this video. Now, the latest version currently is 3.6.4, but I've got 3.6.0 installed, and that's fine for the purposes of this course. So make sure you find 3.6. Make sure you don't select an invalid one. If you have any, select only the valid ones. And we'll look at why I have so many versions later on. Then you can go and press Create. And really that's it. So a couple of things. PyCharm shows you a tip of the day. These things are pretty useful, and it tells you some information on how to use PyCharm. I recommend that you don't untick the box, so that every time you open PyCharm, you get this, and maybe you can learn a thing or two. So I normally do read them. I won't read them today. Then what we've got is our project here on the left. If this was the first screen you saw when you opened up PyCharm, you can always go over to create a new project by pressing on File, New Project. And that will let you create a brand new project. Okay. Then you've got a bunch more menu options, and we're going to be learning a lot about those as we go through the course. So don't worry if you don't know what they do just yet. You've got the usual edits, undo, redo, cut and copy, and so forth. And they can be pretty handy in a lot of scenarios. Then what we've got is our tree. Here we've got our project files, problems, and scratches. That's a really bad name. We'll only be working with project in this course. This gives you the project files and also any external libraries that we're using. At the moment, this project is only using one external library, which is Python 3.6. That's the interpreter we chose earlier on. And our project is a folder called Milestone 1 that doesn't have anything inside it. But we can add things to it. For example, you can right-click on it and add a new Python file. Then you'll get this dialog, and you can choose what type of file you're going to add, Python file or Python unit test. Don't click on that just yet. We'll look at that later on. Just click on Python file, and I'm going to call it app. App now is created inside our project. Look, we've got our file app.py, and the .py has been appended at the end, and that just means that this is a Python file. The name app.py can be anything you'd like, but app.py is a pretty popular name for your sort of main file in a Python program. Whenever you run your program, likely this is the file that you're going to be running. So app.py is a pretty popular name, and I advise that you go for that for the main, most important file in your program. Now, over the next few videos, we're going to be looking at developing our Milestone project. But first, of course, I'm going to give you the brief so that you can tackle this Milestone project on your own. It's going to be a challenge, and you may have to do some research in order to do so. But please don't just move over to the next lecture. Give it a go. Try developing this application on your own first, and doing that is going to ensure that you learn much faster than just watching the video. So with that said, I'll see you on the very next video.